Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, this is my first initial review on X-Men 97. This will be my spoiler review of the first two episodes that premiered. Guys, I am super excited to talk about X-Men 97. Today was a crazy day in general for, us, Marvel fans. We had at the premiere of the two episodes of X-Men 97. We had the two episode premiere, and we also had our first official, I guess, story trailer for was it? I think it was called, I think it's called 1943, Rise of Hydra, the Captain America and Black Panther game by Skydance. Super excited. I actually did a trailer reaction to that over on the gaming channel. Definitely go check it out. Guys, definitely comment down below, comment in the chat, how excited you were for today for X-Men 97. This was just a really fun day. To get into my initial thoughts, we're going to talk about episode 1 titled To Me, My X-Men, which this episode, I want to say, start off the bat, kind of before we get into like the detailed my detailed thoughts on the first episode, I just wanted to talk about, hey, what's up, Jamigi? How's it going, bro? What'd you think about the first two episodes of X-Men 97? But I just want to give my kind of, thoughts on the 90s cartoon in general, because I didn't grow up with that show. My sister Bethany grew up with that show. She is a huge X-Men 90s, show fan. She actually introduced it to me, I want to say when I was a little bit younger. And I don't remember a lot of episodes of the show. Recently, a couple of weeks ago, I started rewatching the original X-Men cartoon, and I only got a couple episodes into the first season, and I can't lie, it's very, as much as I like it, it's very hard to watch the original cartoon. I think it's because sometimes it's not really story driven. There's a lot of the time, from what my sister told me, is that it's kind of like one of those shows that they drop episodes every Saturday, and sometimes they don't keep a linear story. They just drop episodes, and it's like an episodic episode where it doesn't lead to any story or anything. Sometimes they just drop episodes, and that's pretty much, I would say, why I feel like I couldn't just binge it. I'm gonna keep, if anything, this new iteration of X-Men 97, where it's continuing the story of where the original cartoon left off. For me, this show, just in the first two episodes, and kind of how it's like new, it's fresh, it's sharp, it's paying homage to like the original cartoon and continuing that story. But as the new writer of the show said, is that this is actually a story-driven show. It's not going to be how it was before. It's going to follow one linear story, and then the newcomers to the show can actually follow along and understand what's going on. I actually started watching a recap of the overall, original series, because I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to understand what was going on in the show, because I forgot about a lot of the stuff that happened when I watched it when I was younger. So I just want to say, this new show, which, Jimmy, you said was excited for it. I love the first two. I love episode 2. The series makes me want to get all of the 97 Marvel Legends. I'm gonna try, bro. I got 3 in the back. I got Cyclops, Wolverine, and I have, of course, Gambit. Those are the ones I have. I definitely want to try to find Storm, and I want to try to find Rogue, and also Jean. I think I'd be okay with just those ones. Of course, I'm now tempted to get all of them after watching the show as well. But my kind of initial thoughts is that I want to talk about the intro real quick. The X-Men 97 intro, I think I love this iteration a lot more than the original iteration of the intro, because I just think they really focused on the sound of Storm's lightning in the intro, and Cyclops's beams in the intro, and just the sound quality is so much crisper than how it was in the original intro. And I think I have a lot of appreciation in the colors that they were showing in the intro, and like they added new kind of sequences in the intro. In the first episode, it did switch for episode 2. They added some new stuff in. They added Magneto into the intro, and it had him make an X with 2 metal beams, which I thought was really cool, because episode 2 is about Magneto pretty much continuing Charles Xavier's last words in, of course, his will about him taking over the X-Men team. So I kind of like how Magneto has a new outfit, and it kind of had him in the X-Men intro kind of like on the good guy side, because like the X-Men intro is about the X-Men team, and it's kind of him being a part of a team and him making the X with the two beams. I thought that was creative. I thought that was fun. I thought just the new intro in general, it pays homage to the original intro, but it adds some kind of new beats into the intro, and I just think that the sound quality is so much like more, it's just ear candy, like the just the way that they really focuses in on the sounds of Storm's lightning and Cyclops' beams and the Wolverine's noise when his claws come out. And I just like the overall like new animation that they got going on, and I love the new Marvel, what was it, Marvel animation, intro before we get to the X-Men intro. I really like kind of their opening scroll that all Marvel Studios movies have. I like how they made a Marvel animation kind of scroll before intro before the intro of the show started, and I'm kind of hoping that this paves the way. We'll get this kind of new Marvel animation, kind of title card. I hope we get that like going forward with other Marvel animation shows, like whether it be the next season of What If or whether it be some things going down the line. I really really hope that we get that. I hope we also get Spider-Man like 97 or something like that. Like I think that'd be really really cool if we can get like, since we got X-Men 97, if we can get like a Spider-Man 97 or something. I think that's what a lot of people have been saying. I tear up when Storm uses her powers. Yeah, bro. Same Jamiggy, bro. But I love the way the show executes Storm, and I think me and my sister can agree on that. There's a lot of things, like I said, that I just feel like how this, the old X-Men show was her X-Men. And I feel like this new iteration, but also continuing her iteration, but also giving a fresh feel to, this 97 version of the X-Men, I feel like is my X-Men. I do love how, like, for new X-Men fans and old X-Men fans of the X-Men original show and it continuing with the new iteration of the X-Men 97 show, I love how that we can both say that this is our X-Men. You know what I mean? While it's still hers and it's continuing, but there's new elements that makes it for newcomers their X-Men. You know what I mean? So I just really really appreciate that this is my X-Men, the X-Men 97, while hers is the X-Men 90s X-Men. You know what I mean? But also is the same thing as this, but just with some new, a new flavor, you know what I mean, to it. You know what I mean? Whether it be with the visuals, whether it be with the sounds, whether it be with just the storytelling. I just feel like, just off the bat, like I said, when I tried rewatching the original X-Men show, I had a hard time being like, okay, this isn't a linear story. They're just making single stories. Not to say that they don't have stories in the original, that they follow like a kind of a story path of leading up to something, but like I felt like I knew right off the gate from this first episode of episode 1, called To Me My X-Men, that we're leading up to something, with Jean being pregnant, which I thought was really, really cool. Just, seeing that element of how she is talking to Scott about, since, you don't need to be the leader. Yeah, we're the original X-Men members, but you don't need to be the one to take over after Charles Xavier. Like, maybe this means that we can go off and kind of, maybe it's time to find something outside of being a part of the X-Men family and team. They'll always be a family, but we're starting a family ourselves. And I just thought that was interesting because, Scott's having trouble with that because he's been the leader for as long as he's been an OG, he's been the leader. So it's kind of hard for him to break that, especially right now where the X-Men team needs, like, he needs to step up into even a bigger role of being kind of the one to also lead the school, but not also be the leader, but now the one to lead the school. So I just love the element of that where he feels like he can't leave, but Jean wants to go and start a life with Scott and their new baby, and it's no place for a baby to grow up around where there's always danger with all the X-Men. So I thought I understood that, and I like those dynamics of the grounded dynamics of everything. And I just really felt more connected to these characters in these first 2 episodes than I did watching the original show. I don't know why that is, but I felt that way, and I do think it has to do with the writing, has everything to do with everything just being fresher and sharper, and it just, I think, appeals to the younger audience, especially for me. And since I didn't grow up with the show, I feel like this just appeals to me more. And that's what I really do love, is that they're really able to cater to the OGs, but also bring in newcomers to the show. And just even the voice actors I thought were spot on. I think they have the entire voice acting cast from the original show coming back. And it feels like, honestly, it feels like they never left. I love how it felt like they just were able to just go get back into these roles because the voice actors that play these characters are the X-Men. And it really just goes to the show. It feels like I said, we never left. And just the coolest thing I love is that it just feels like it also with, Logan still having a thing for Jean that's still there, and Morph being Morph. I love that. It just feels like when I watched the first episode from the original and watch this, it feels like, wow, it feels like they really never left. It feels like we're just continuing things. It just feels like the vibes are the same, just with sharper animation, really crisp on the music, and just more action. That's the one thing I noticed more about these first two episodes. The action is just top tier. I would say it's up there with Invincible action. And if you guys watch Invincible, you guys know what I mean. Especially in terms of animation, I'd feel like this is kind of on par with Invincible, because it kind of has that look that Invincible has, which I do like that kind of animation. So, and I just feel like this will appeal to a lot of people just by the animation alone, and a lot more action, and also it being a story-driven show instead of just like, an episodical, drop on a Saturday show. But I really, really loved everything. I loved Storm's entrance, to save a mutant. In the mutant in the middle. The kid's name is, I want to say it's like something DaCosta, and it's gonna annoy me. It's like Jamiki, say it down in the comment section below if you know the kid in the middle's name. I have it, and I'm like already forgetting his name. It's like I'm gonna see if I can try to find it real quick because it's gonna bother me, and I have it in the back of my head, but like it kind of got away from me. I think his name is. Let me look. It is. He gives it to Jubilee in episode 1, like a card that has his name on it. And I just want to make sure I know his name because it's gonna annoy me if I don't. Roberto. Yes, Roberto. That's his name. Sunspot. I don't. Is that Sunspot? Roberto? Because he said that he had. What did he say? He said that he had. What did he say? What energy did he say he had? He didn't have like radioactive energy. He had. It's gonna bother me. He said it was like. Damn. I'm gonna. He said it right here. What was it? What kind of energy does he have? I think he said like, I don't know, it wasn't solar power or anything. It was something. What was it? He said what energy he had. If this is Sunspot, solar power. Yeah. Solar powers. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I have a theory, which I'm gonna get into it now because in episode 2, Storm loses her powers, which I just can't believe. I just want to get that off the bat. And I'm gonna click it right here because I have the not that. It's this right here. And I want to talk about that. The one picture I just popped up. But Storm loses her powers in episode 2, saving Magneto, and someone shoots her with, it was like radio. It's like radioactive, kind of like, I guess, what is it? Radioactive rays that apparently are put in the collars to dampen mutants' powers. But this person did a kind of direct shot, like was able to put all the direct radiation at Storm and pretty much take out her mutant abilities, her genes entirely. Now, I don't know if I know she's gonna get her powers back, because I was saying to my sister, I just cannot believe they took Storm's powers. I was like, I can imagine she'll get her powers back probably later in the season. I hope it doesn't go into season 2. But my theory is that I think that Roberto might be able to give Jean maybe her power. Not Jean, I meant Storm maybe her powers back because radiation and solar. Maybe he's able to do something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's a far-fetched theory. It probably is. But I was thinking, okay, like solar power, radiation, maybe is he able to like spark something back up? I don't know. But I thought, okay, that's a pretty good theory, because me and my sister were talking, saying that Roberto has to have some sort of big, they wouldn't have just introduced this kid and just, in one episode, and him not be important later. So I was thinking, okay, he probably is the one to give, Storm back her powers again, or maybe reignite something to get, her mutant genes to kind of kick back up so she's able to use her powers again. That's the theory I had. Probably a long shot theory, but that's just something I came up with. But yeah, like I said, I love how good Magneto is in the show. And I'm going to go to Magneto, which this is the only picture I have of Magneto, but I love how good Magneto is in this series. I love how he is kind of like, okay, like Charles, his death was able to make it where, society saw us as, equal. Society saw us as equal on, Charles dying, and thought and saw Charles dying for something he fought for. And pretty much, Magneto is seeing that, saying, I owe Charles because he's made it, where the humans, see us as equal, and they feel for us, and they see that we have every right to be here as they do. And you know what I mean, and see where we're coming from, and see what Charles was fighting for, and he sacrificed himself, for the greater good. And I just love how Magneto is kind of seeing it from Charles' perspective, and has become this kind of new leader of the X-Men. I don't think Scott's just going to go off, because, he just, in a way, I feel like he kind of feels like there's something up with Magneto still, even though if Magneto is on the right path and he doesn't have any bad intentions of taking over the X-Men, he actually wants to do good by Charles, then he's going to have to earn that, and Scott's going to have to see that. But I think Scott's going to stick around, especially on how the way the episode ended. I think he's going to stick around not only for to see if Magneto is actually telling the truth and wants to be, wants to do right by Charles's dream, but also, and also, believes that he actually wants to change. There's some crazy shit going on, which I want to talk about in a minute. I have theories that Gambit might betray the team. He might, because we're about to talk about this, Jamigi, which is that I found out that this is actually a storyline in the comic where Rogue and Magneto actually were an item. I can't believe that. I did not know that. Like I said, I'm very, very behind on a lot of X-Men comics. But to find out that they were actually an item, and actually I found out that they de-aged Magneto in the comic book, so it wouldn't be as weird, but he's still as old as he is in the comic, is still a little bit weird. Especially since they're not de-aging bro. Just because you put bro in a muscle shirt doesn't mean that people aren't going to find it's weird that Rogue and Magneto were an item. Bro's like in his me and my sister did the math. Bro's like 100 and something. You know what I mean? Like, technically, with him being born when he was born and now, like, it's weird. He's old enough to be Rogue's father. Like, that's weird. Or hell, not even father, but like grandpa, if anything. Like, I just find that weird. Had a child in, yeah. That's what I'm saying. like, bro, like, it is weird. And I can see a lot of people probably trying to be like, okay, like, shipping this, but because there's weird people out there, but I don't ship this. When they kind of got close, and like I think he tried initially like grabbing her glove or grabbing her hand and shit like that, I thought instantly, I was like, oh, I cringed. I was like, did they have a thing? Were they an item before she joined the X-Men team? Because, I know that, her father didn't want her and she kind of ran off. And I'm assuming, she had some ties in with Magneto that maybe the X-Men team don't know about. I don't know. But, like, it's weird. And I think Gambit has every right to be thinking that there's something going on now with maybe, Rogue and Magneto, whether he thinks it was prior or whether he thinks it's starting up now. Gambit needs to throw a playing card in bro's face, because get away from his girl. Simple as that. I was like, he needs to draw the line and be like, you're staying over there. This is my girlfriend. You're weird, dude. Like, it's weird. It's weird, isn't it? It's still weird for Wolverine having a crush on Jean Grey. Is it though? Because Jean Grey, they're around the same age. And yeah, Jean's married. Okay. They have a kid together. But like, I still don't find it weird as this. Like, this is like, in a way, I hate to say it, sort of predatory a little bit. Like, it's weird. It's weird. It's a grown man going after it. You know what I mean? And they have a thing. It's weird to me. Like, I don't find it all weird that Wolverine still has a crush on Jean. Like, that's his one true love. Yeah, and you can't deny it too. She has feelings for Wolverine. It's there. But her heart will always belong to Scott. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't find it all as weird as this. Like, this is weird as shit. Rogue got weak for older men in muscle shirts. She really did though, I guess, because this is just weird, bro. Like this is weird. Like, I can't get over that. Wolverine, it's like 100. Okay, Wolverine technically is like 100, but like if we want to be honest, Wolverine doesn't age. Like he doesn't age. He still stays the same age as when I want to say it started happening. I don't know. I think he's just. I don't know how his like his because I never really understood how his aging process works because I don't know if it was when the Weapon X program when he got the adamantium and then that's what kind of stopped his aging or he's always I think that's when it started happening. So all in all, it's not that weird if we're being honest. It's not really that weird. You see what I'm saying? Like this is weird. This is weird. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But I see where you're coming from, Jamigi, but like if I'm being honest, like this is just come on. She's like in her I want to say 30s maybe and bro's like in his like hundreds or something like that. Like it's weird. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. It's just it's weird to me because mind you, we don't think like that because Wolverine stays the same. You know what I mean? We don't think like that, but this is weird. You know what I mean? But all in all, I'm gonna go to the next one. I think I have a next slide. I believe yes, the big one. Which this is how we ended the episode. Which I think it's back here. Yes, guys, when this sequence happened, I need to know right now what was everybody's reaction when Jean. There was a Jean that came to like because Morph. We heard a knock on the door. Morph opened the door, and we ended up seeing Jean, saying, "I need your help." And Jean was right behind Scott, and Scott and Jean had a baby. So is that real Jean, or is the Jean that knocked on the door real Jean? I thought, okay, that could be Mystique knocking on the door, looking like Jean. Wouldn't it be the first time Mystique took someone's, look? So could that have been Mystique at the door, or could this be Mystique that had a baby with Scott? I need to know right now. I really, really need to know. Hey, I was shocked. Same Bethany, we watched it together. This was a gasp moment, and I just want to say the old X-Men OG 90 show did not make me feel this way, where they had holy shit moments with Storm losing her powers. Is Jean really Jean? Like which one is the real Jean? And also, what is it? And Rogue and Magneto having a secret past relationship. Crazy. It was crazy. It's something else. Like Jimmy, I really want to know, like, let me know your theories because I was really excited to talk to you about this. Like, is the Jean that had the baby with Scott really Jean? That's the real question because that's the thing. My brain instantly started firing on all cylinders. Like, okay, well, we saw Jean use her powers, but yet again, I think Mystique can use use people's abilities because we've seen Mystique use people's abilities before. So I was like, okay, so that it could possibly the Jean that had the baby with Scott could be Mystique, and the Jean that's opening the door might actually be Jean that got knocked out somewhere, got put somewhere that she finally found her way back to the X Mansion. And like all in all, like we really don't know, and I'm really excited. I kind of hope. I don't even know if we're gonna figure this out in episode 3. This might be a thing we figure out at like the halfway through the season. I don't know. Take a look in the intro. There is a certain character intro too. Interesting. Because I mean, my sister said that Morph could also do that, but Morph had. I've been keeping an eye on Morph where I don't think Morph was doing anything. You know what I mean? Morph was the one that opened the door, and you know what I mean? There's still 2 Jeans, so I'm so confused on, like, who could it be? Besides, I'm thinking Mystique. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, is that Mystique could be the one that is one of them. The one that's standing behind Scott, or the one that was at the door. I just feel like Mystique is somehow involved, and I feel like that's the only thing that makes sense, because I'm thinking, from what I know about shapeshifters in X-Men, the only 2 people I could think of are Morph and Mystique. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only 2 people I can think of that are kind of around that could explain why there's 2 Jeans. Besides the fact that Morph has nothing to do with it because Bro opened the door, so I'm thinking it must be Mystique. But then again, it might not be the case. My sister said it could also be the fact that it could be maybe a split gene after the Phoenix Force, so it could be a Phoenix Force gene that's split from the real gene. I don't know. That was a pretty cool theory my sister came up with. That could have just after the Phoenix, kind of storyline, they split in half. That'd be really really cool to have like a Phoenix Force gene walking around and in the normal gene right there. that would be a really really cool storyline. And if I'm correct, even well, actually, even also there is a Marvel Legends version of Jean. She's wearing a totally different costume, and she's holding her baby. So could that be a new Jean that we're being introduced to? Because we also see in the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 figures, there's Jean in her classic X-Men costume. So I don't know. Maybe that's kind of like also a hint to who maybe what's going on. Like maybe they're kind of saying it in the toy releases if you know that there's another Jean and that could be the Jean that is there. I don't know. We'll just have to learn more about it. But I was like shocked. That like this was like the third shocked thing I was shocked about besides the Rogue and Magneto and also the with Storm losing her abilities. But I just want to talk about the fighting real quick because that's the big one for me. The fighting, which I want to go here real quick. The fight sequence where what is it? Where the X-Men team find Trask was dope. Because when I mean probably Cyclops had the coolest superhero landing of all time. He really, really did. Because he used his beams. He jumped out the X jet, jumped down, and used his beams, the strength of his beams, how powerful they are, to cushion his fall. And he did the coolest superhero landing of all time. And he said to me, "My X-Men." You know how dope that was? That was that's on par with Cap jumping out the Quinjet in Captain America and the Winter Soldier in the first opening mission on the Lemurian Star. That's definitely has to go up there as one of the coolest superhero landings of all time. If not, I think he might have it a little bit more than Cap. Maybe just a little bit more, but I gotta say, I got mad respect for Scott after that because even I would say even in the cartoon, Scott was never my favorite. It was always Wolverine. But when it came to the X-Men, like, when it came to X-Men Apocalypse, the movie, I would say Scott really became my favorite. Even though he really didn't have that leader aspect as he does in the cartoon, which I think he has a lot more presence in the cartoon. It's accurate more in the cartoon than it's been in the movies. I feel like I have more of a respect and I'm kind of liking Scott a lot more in the cartoon through this 97 version because he's I feel like there's just something with the new animation and with the new and just with the new like writing. I just feel like I'm like, okay, I see you, Scott. I'm liking you a lot more, bro. Like, let's go. Like, I see you. Like, I feel like it's kind of on par right now with me and with Wolverine as my favorite, and also Scott as my favorite. I think it's kind of like neck and neck now because of this new series, and I'm loving it. And mind you, I always loved the character of Cyclops. I mean, like I said, I have the figure back there. You know what I mean? And I loved the Cyclops that we had in Apocalypse. Just you know what I mean? I just have a new love for the character. I wasn't really that in love with the character like when it came to like the older X-Men movies, but when it came to Apocalypse, I was like, I don't know what it is, but like I really like this like Cyclops, like you know what I mean? I don't know what maybe it was because that actor's interpretation of Cyclops I just thought was really really cool. Seeing a young Cyclops, I was like, okay, like I really have respect for this character. But like I said, now that I feel like I'm a real big Cyclops fan after like these first two episodes. I'm like, okay, bro, like you're that dude. Like I see you as that leader because it was like I feel like even in the original series, Cyclops was the butt of the joke. I feel like here he's really, really not. He really has that leader aspect, and I respect him. And when I tried rewatching the cartoon, I was like, I don't have respect about you at all, dude. Like you're the butt of the joke. Like people make fun of you. You're really like, they don't take you serious. But here, I'm like, okay, bro. I see it. I see you as the leader. I love it. But yeah, like I said, I really, really loved it. And seeing also, they made that what was it the I forget like the Sentinel's name, the Sentinel that creates other Sentinels, but that moment where like Gambit charged up Wolverine's claws and pretty much to the point where Wolverine I think jumped up, or I forget what the hell happened, or maybe the staff took off that Sentinel's head, but bro stood up and then sat the hell back down, was slumped. He just slumped down. He got his head burst off, and then he got slumped, and then he sat on the chair. That was the funniest thing in the world. It was the coolest, funniest thing in the world. I remember saying when his head got blown off, I said, "Holy shit, yo, Master Mold." Yeah, Master Mold said he stood up, and then the X-Men said, "Sit the f down," and he went. He was slumped. It had me cracking up. Just me and my sister had to pause it because we were like, no way that just happened. That was the coolest thing ever. And then I made her laugh when I went like, hey, bro, it stood up. And then they said, sit the F back down. He went. But yeah, it was the coolest thing ever. Just the action sequences are dope in this show. Way cooler than the 90s version. It is I feel like this is just more of an upgrade. Not to like hate on the original version, but I feel like they really made upgrades to make this show 100 times better. With the more, linear story, with the sharper animation, with the sharper sounds, with a lot more action sequences. The dialogue, Magneto came in with bars. There's got to be another special Sentinel. Probably. I feel like the Master Mold probably wasn't the only one. I feel like we're gonna see more Sentinels. But it would be interesting if that's just it. You know what I mean? If they took out, they stopped Trask, they stopped Master Mold. Does that mean that maybe that Sentinels are done for right now? I don't know. But it is very interesting to me. The guy you said, are they allowed to curse in this cartoon? No, they are not. That's the one thing they're not. They're still keeping it PG. Um, you said, who does the Sentinel need to bang to make more Sentinels? I don't know. I don't know if it works like that, bro. But there's got to be another Sentinel. Who knows? Thank you, bro. I'm just joshing around anyway. Yes, I'm saying. I'm thinking. I feel like the Sentinels are done. I part of me isn't thinking that there's probably another Master Mold out there. I feel like they probably got the last one. But then again, I really don't know. Like that's the fun part I really love about the show so far is that I'm so invested now that like again I like I said guys, when I tried rewatching the 90s show, I was like I can't sit here and just keep rewatching, keep like watching. It doesn't have that okay, I can't wait to get to the next episode. It might just be because how the new generation is of people and how the show really didn't follow a story. It was just one of those things where they just did a story for an episode and then they went on to a different story for the next episode. It was like episodical stories. It wasn't like a linear story they were trying to plan out from point A to point B. And I just feel like that's why I was like after these two episodes I was like I'm invested. They have a linear story they're doing here. I'm really excited to watch episode 3. They have a couple of like holy shit moments that we have to have explained between again Rogue and Magneto, and also Storm losing her abilities, and also who is the real Jean. We have questions that they have raised that if you don't want to sit to if you don't want to like if you're not excited to watch episode 3 after what they did in these first two episodes, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think I could call you insane. Like, how do you not want to like? How are you not excited for like episode 3? I feel like I would be surprised if people weren't excited for episode 3 after all they did in these first two episodes. Like, I'm stoked. I'm pumped. I'm along for the ride now. I'm fully invested with the show, and I'm just really excited. It definitely felt faster. It did. It felt fast paced, which I really appreciated. The dialogue didn't seem boring to me as some of the dialogue did in the original show. Like I said, I'm glad again, like without the original show, we wouldn't even have this. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm just glad that again, even for the original X-Men OG fans from the 90s show, love this show. I'm really happy that they love this show. My sister is an OG and she loves this show. I'm very happy. And me as like sort of like this is my X-Men. I love this show. You know what I mean? I have respect for the other show, but it was one of those shows that I felt like I can't sit here. It doesn't have that I could sit and binge like what's the word, like it doesn't have that sit and binge ability, the sit and binge ability. Like it doesn't have that for me. Same as how like Peacemaker doesn't have that rewatch ability. I just can't sit and rewatch that. Are you gonna review this live every week? I would love to. Like the guy, do you guys want me to do that? Like Jimmy, the guy, Jerry, Bethany, do you guys want me to do this like every week? I would be down because I'm watching the show with my sister. I would love to do watch parties, but like I have been watching Marvel things by myself for Patreon. I've been doing watch parties by myself for you guys, but for this one show that she grew up on, I was like, I gotta watch it with her. Like, I got to. You know what I mean? She was really excited about this, and I was really excited because I love the new version. I love the new animation. I thought it looked faster. I thought it looked sharper. I thought it looked more action packed. I was fully invested. I'm excited for all 5 episode. Monjo will be in it. Mojo will be in it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like I know that name. Who is that? Jimiggy? Let me know, bro. Um, Dojo Mojo. OG show was great. OG show was great, but I mean, it's just it didn't appeal to me as much. I loved the vibe of it, but it just I think it was because it just wasn't linear and it was kind of like episodical. That just I couldn't get into it. Um, yeah, yeah. Yes, please do this again. I'll do it. Yeah, okay, bet. I'll do this every week for every new episode of X Men 97. We'll be back here every week. I'll save everything I got going right now. It'll always be a spoiler talk where we talk about the episodes. Guys, let me know your favorite parts. What was your favorite parts of episodes 1 and 2? Let me know. Like, I'm really, really curious to know. And where do you guys hope the show to go? Because I really want this to be like where we talk about like what your favorite parts were. Like, definitely let me know. Yes, please do it again. You said, Bethany said, I teared up a bit at the opening. Lol, I was like, I had that nostalgia feel because like through you, Beth, like we watched the show. You know what I mean? Like you showed me some stuff, and just I feel like it's just how can you not love the X-Men intro music? I love the X-Men intro music. That was the one thing I knew I loved about the OG show. It's just it's when you hear X-Men, you I mean, there's a reason that in was it in Miss Marvel when Bruno said a mutation and played the I hope I don't get copyright, but yeah, it played that is a reason because when you think about X-Men, you think about the '90s music. Um, the weird simply guy who transport them to the TV arena. Wait, the weird slimy. Oh, okay. Transported them to the arena. I know who you're talking about. Okay, cool, cool. Um, he's a fast green alien from World. Yes, I remember. He was in. Yeah, he was in the. I want to say the first. Yeah, he was in the original '90s show, I believe. I think he was like in the early episodes too, from what I remember. Um, the guy you said I like fat alien. Wait. I like fat aliens chat. Okay. Okay, the guy you said the most wildest things, bro. Um, Bethany, you said I love how they added to the music. That's what I'm saying is that I think they're also going to do that for Daredevil Born Again, a little bit off the topic, but I don't think it's going to be the same thing. I think they're going to add some little elements in to make it their own. But that's I gotta say I like this new iteration a lot better. Like this is going to be on my playlist when I get to the gym. I gotta find it. Hopefully they release like a full theme of this new iteration of the X-Men theme because I love it. I love it. Even when like the X-Men logo pops up at the end and has like the lightning go over it, I like the new look of it and how the lightning sounds. It's just so crisp. That's the best way I could put it. When it comes to the sound quality of the show, it's just so crisp that they got like down like it's just it's perfect. They got it down to the minute detail. And the new animation, the sound of the show, and just the writing, and it does make me concerned a bit because as you all know, the writer that wrote seasons 1 and 2, I believe season 2 as well, they let go of that writer, if I'm correct. If I think if that dude was the writer that they did let go. I can't remember his name on the top of my head, but I am a little bit concerned because if I'm liking it as much as I am now, I am a little bit concerned of someone new coming in. And I think the surroundings of what'd you say? Bethany, you said Magneto had a cool intro moment during that music. Love how they changed it up. Same. I love how like at that point he was a member of the X-Men. And of course I love how, he made the X with the two metal beams. I thought that was really, really cool. Um, the guy you said extra crispy like my bacon chat. Yes, bro. Extra crispy like the bacon. Yes. Like it was great. It was great. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it probably later. I'm gonna be staying over at my sister's later, so I'm probably gonna watch it the first 2 episodes again. But like I said, I never thought I'd say that because I just like I said the original show did not make me feel like I could rewatch this. I don't know what I don't know what it was. I think it was just because of maybe the not to like kind of shit on the animation how it was before, but like there's just something about this crisp new animation that I just feel like they really made a really great product here. Like I think that they added on top of what was great about the original show, and they made something that like is god tier. Like this is god tier. Like X-Men 97. Like it's good, and I'm just here for along with the ride. I think I'm even gonna say that like when they do like and they do like a Spider-Man 97 because I feel like newer animation you could do a lot more with how animation is like how like like how far we've come with animation and how far we've come with just sound design and everything. And I feel like, yeah, when they bring out that Spider-Man 97, it's gonna top the original. Like I feel like that's just how it is, how far we've come. You know what I mean? Favorite scene is when Magneto takes the UN, yes, judges to the edge of the atmosphere and says, "The old me would punish all of you. Don't make me let you down." Jerry, that moment you just said is my favorite moment when Magneto popped up and did that. I said that's what I meant by Magneto had bars. He's rapping in this. Like he's rapping. That was bars. When he said don't let me when he said don't make me let you down, I was like, hey, get it? Like let you down? I was like, oh bro, he's like those little bars in there. Like Magneto he's nice. Like I never really like, again, I liked Magneto, but nah, like I like this kind of like hero Magneto. I'm liking him, but not to the point where like I got Gambit's back. Back. Wait a second. I got my boy Gambit's back. Okay? Look at this. I got my boy Gambit's back. I want him to throw a playing card at Magneto's face to tell him to back the hell off of his girl. Simple as that. I got my boy, and I got his back. As much as I like this changed Magneto, he's got to step off. As simple as that. He's got to step off. Magneto versus Slime Shady. versus Slim Shady, yeah. Epic rap battle. I need it. Magneto versus Slim Shady rap battle. Epic rap battle. You guys should because I don't know if everybody's ever watched those epic rap battle YouTube videos. Someone should send them that idea because that would be perfect because he's got bars. He really, really does. Because I told my sister, I was like, Magneto's actually got some bars in this. Like, I'm like, some great dialogue. I'm like, this is like really, really good. Because I thought it was corny back in the day. I was watching like the 90s version like recently, like I told you guys. I was like, this is cornball. Like, again, what do I expect? It was the 90s, but I was like, nah, it's like I can't take this dude serious. I'm like, it's again, it's accuracy, it's comic accurate, but I was like, I can't. But now they're gonna come in with heat since it's modern, since it's fresh, since it's sharp, since it's everything. I'm excited. My favorite scene when the Exculator fought Morph. Yes, dude, Morph was going crazy in these first two episodes. Like Morph turned into Blob, Morph turned into Psylocke, Morph turned into who else did he turn into? I can't even think on the top of my head. I know it was Psylocke, Blob, and it was some other people. I think he turned into Archangel. Bro was turning into some crazy shit, and I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. I can't remember if he did that a lot. Like I said, in my rewatch, I only got through like half of season 1. I don't recall him doing that a lot in the original 90s show. But bro was kicking ass. Like, Morph has become like, I would say, I started like when I was rewatching the show, I was like, okay, like I really like Morph when I was rewatching the 90s show, but here, bro's awesome. He's stepping up. He really stole the show, if I'm being honest. He was doing crazy stuff. Lady Deathstrike, yes. Thank you, Jamigi. He turned into a whole bunch of shit, and I was like, oh my god, he's kicking ass. He was like soloing some people, really putting in work where like Cyclops got the shit beat out of him and he got put on the ground or whatever. But like Morph was coming in clutch. He turned into like so many things whooping ass. I was like, okay. I was like, I see you, Morph. You're really stepping up. So yeah, like I've always loved the dynamic of like Morph and Wolverine, their friend dynamic. It was always like cool to me. So I'm really excited to see more of that too. And he understands where Wolverine's coming from too with everything. And I just feel like he's a good friend. And that's why Wolverine was upset like in the 90s show about Morph, like them leaving Morph behind and shit. So like that's why I feel like that's the one close friend he has on the team that he's a ride or die. And I feel like that's why, if you're on Wolverine's good side, he's that dude. He's that ride or die. Yeah, the fights were great. Yeah, the fights were great, Bethany. Like I loved what they did in these first two episodes. Like I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I can't wait to watch episode 3. Chat Morph's powers as stacked as Sydney Sweeney. Oh man, oh man. I don't even. You don't even have to read the. You don't even have to say the rest. The guy, I know what you mean. Oh Lord. Okay, but yeah, I loved it. I loved the show. It was truly truly great. I gotta look and see. I'm actually like, initially when I saw the new Magneto's look Marvel Legends figure, like his new like costume, I thought it was cheesy. I remember when they first showed the image that he had of like the first images of X-Men 97 of what the characters are gonna look like. I was like, I was like, that suit is cheesy. But I was like, it is from the comics, but it looks weird here. But I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I like this new iteration of Magneto more than the villain version of Magneto. So I gotta say, I might actually cop that Marvel Legends. I might have to. I might have to get that. I know I'm gonna get Rogue. I know I'm gonna get, was it Jean? I want to get Storm. I'm tempted just to collect all of them at this point because I'm just really loving this show. Like I said, I was okay with just getting the ones like the specific ones I wanted of my favorite characters. Like I would say like Storm, Jean, and also Rogue are like my favorite, female characters from the X-Men. And I would say like, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Gambit were my favorite. But now I'm just tempted to get all of them like at this point because how great I'm loving this show so far. You said we need a live action morph in Deadpool and Wolverine. That would be dope. That would be dope, Jerry. Think of the fun that they could have with the three of them. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. Jimmy, you said, fun fact, Thunderbird was supposed to be the member that died in episode 2, but changed it because they would get backlash for killing the only Native American character. I agree. That would have been messed up if they did that. I agree. You know what I mean? It would have been tough. Also, I think also if I'm correct, Thunderbird, right? Like he was right. Wait, I'm gonna say yeah. I want to say yeah. Yeah, Thunderbird wasn't he introduced in like the later episodes of like the '90s X-Men show? Because I don't, or maybe because I don't recall seeing, or maybe I do. Maybe I do, and I just don't remember. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah, I understand why they didn't kill him off. Makes sense. The guy who said chat, who has, wait, I can't read that. Who has the sus dude popcorn bucket, bro? I know, right? Who has that? Like, I don't even want to know who has that. Like, I don't even want to know because yeah, bro. Like, a Dune popcorn bucket was weird, weird. I said to myself, I don't even want to be, I don't want to even be 100 yards near an AMC until Dune's out of the theater because of that popcorn bucket. I don't even want to be 100 meters near that. I don't even want to be feet near that. I don't want to be close to it at all until Dune leaves that theater because that bucket is just no. It's the sus bucket for sure. And Raps, his brother would get his revenge on the X-Men. Cool. I think I'm so glad I have my TV up. I think he never appeared in the show. I don't think he did either. Like I said, because I thought I remembered seeing him, but at the same time, I was like, I don't think anybody else was there when Morph died. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody was there in that, or like you know what I mean. Like, I don't recall just besides the X-Men team, but I guess as you said, they took it out. Um, but yeah, like I said, guys, I really, really loved these first two episodes, and I'm excited to come back next week. We'll make it, like I said, a weekly thing where we do our reviews, or I'll come on here and like we'll talk about each episode of X-Men '97. I think if I'm correct, there's 8 episodes total. If I'm correct, is there 8 episodes, guys? I'm really, really curious to know. And sorry, I'm kind of like all over the place. Like I'm just letting my my excitement and energy and thoughts fly a little bit. I'll try to be a little bit more organized, like you know what I mean, focusing on like an episode because I think also going forward they're not doing any like 2 episode drops. They're only going to do like 1 episode drop. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, can we said? Oh yeah, I can understand that discussion decision, Jimmy. Yeah, like I can understand it too. It was a right decision by them, especially in the time that the original show came out. Yeah, that would have been very, very controversial. So I'm glad they didn't go that route. 10 in the first season. Okay, cool, cool. I'm okay with that. If they do 10 in like each season, that's fine. I don't think it needs to be really any more than that. I'm like, I think they should take their time. And if I'm being honest, I don't want it to be like while they're trying to do a linear story, they kind of have a couple of episodes that are kind of like mess around episodes. I don't want that. I want them to stay on the path of what they're trying to achieve. I really want them to have a direction that they're heading towards, like an end goal, and go to it instead of just messing around. So I'm okay with just 10 episodes a season. I think that's pretty fair, all things considered. I think for animation, I think if I'm being honest, all the Disney Plus shows should probably have 10 episodes, but they don't. But the only shows I would say that like survived that because it worked with how they made the show is Loki. I would say that's the only one that makes sense for as how many episodes as it had. You know what I mean? What X-Men member would you like kill off? X-Men 97. Wait. What X-Men member would you kill off in X-Men 97? That's very hard, Jamigi. Like I said, I really love all these characters. Like I said, more than I did, like I said, in the original show. Like, I feel like they just made these characters something, they're familiar about them, but they're more lovable. And I don't know what, I just can't, I think it's the writing. I think it's the writing that really achieved that, and also just the animation. But if I'm being honest, the one character I'd kill off, this is very, very hard. Because I love Morph, I love Gambit, I love Wolverine, I love Rogue. Like, this is very, very hard. But I'm going to say, you're going to say Beast. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I was gonna say, what was it, Bishop? But like, I like Bishop, and he's kind of like the one black character on the show too, so that'd be messed up. But because I was thinking like, but then Bishop has the cool power though, like he's able to absorb energy beams and like throw it back at people. So like that's what I'm saying. Bishop's staying, Beast is gone. Because what Beast really doesn't do anything, if I'm being honest. Like the more I think about it, bro doesn't do much of anything. So yeah, Beast is gone. Jamiki, I agree. Beast is out. But yeah, honest to God though, guys, I'm really glad I came on here. I was questioning if I even wanted to like if I even had enough time to get on here today, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I have all you guys here with me talking about the show we all love. I'm glad you OG fans out there really enjoyed the show. Jamigi, Jerry, Bethany, the guy, if you're an OG too, like you know what I mean, and you love the original X-Men show. I'm glad you got this show reached your guys' expectations. I'm very, very happy. It reached my expectations I had, you know what I mean, when the first trailer came out. I was like, this actually looks better than the original show. I don't know what it is, but it does. And I'm invested. I'm excited. Was it you said? You said we have for Forge to replace him. We have the Forge to replace him. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Gambit kills off Magneto for stepping in on his girl. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's gonna throw one of these playing cards at him. I got Gambit's back. I really, really do. Where's my? I could be Wolverine. Where's it? I got him. Even if the Wolverine in the show don't got him, I got him. I could be Wolverine. But even if the Wolverine in the show doesn't have his back, Gambit's back, when the fighting goes down, I got him. Oh man, I can. Wait, what is it? Oh man. Bethany said, oh man, I can't kill off any. They're all great. Nah, Gambit, I want to turn evil. Now, even if Gambit turns evil to kind of make his point, saying that Rogue is his girl, I mean, let's be real. Like, Gambit has every right to be angry about this. And I think it maybe will make him making not smart decisions. I could see it happening of him being jealous. He might not make some smart decisions. And I hope to God this doesn't happen. I really, really don't want him not making smart decisions, meaning Rogue goes back with Magneto. That shit would piss me off, and I just think it'd make me really, really angry, and I can't bear to see that relationship go anywhere. It's just too gross. Even knowing that they had a relationship makes me cringe. So I really, really hope that there is no more weird shit with them going forward. I really, really hope not. I was okay. I was okay not knowing that they were together at one point. I was okay with that. I was like, because if I'm being honest, that might be the most questionable. Mind you, there's a lot of weird shit that goes on in the comic books, but I gotta say, this might have been the most questionable one. I was like, nah, like this is weird. Whoever made this decision, I was like, You could de-age dude if you want, but it doesn't face the fact that bro is old enough to be her grandpa. Like it's weird. Like nah, that would break him. Bro, that the way he said that would broke him. That would broke him. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I could see him making maybe some not smart decisions by him being jealous, but I think he has every right because she's keeping secrets. She's technically dating Gambit, and she's like in rooms and shit, and like Xavier's old office with him, and it's just weird. It's weird. Like, I mean, I can't be the only one that thinks that relationship is weird. Just because they thought because they could put bro in a muscle shirt, we wouldn't think that was weird. They're like, oh, if we put bro in a muscle shirt, and then we tell people, yeah, they were together. You know, they dated. You know, when Rogue wasn't with the X-Men. It's not weird. He's wearing a muscle shirt. They'll forget about his age. I'm sorry, I didn't. I didn't forget. It's weird. It's weird. My sister will attest. We both cringed. I was like, I was getting ready to leave the room. I was like, this is weird. I'm like, I gotta leave the room because it's weird. Like, he needs to get a throne. Better yet, Gambit needs to get his light up stick and beat his ass. Beat Magneto's ass. How all the X-Men should be. They're a team. They should all go and beat his ass for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's messed up. I think Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver appear in X-Men 97. That would be dope. See, again, he has kids. Think about that. Magneto is as old as he does, has kids, and he had a thing with Rogue. That bro is clearly trying to spark up again. It's weird. It's weird. But I digress. Like, I can't wait for these next episodes, but that was the weirdest thing, I think, out of the takeaway of the show. I was like, this is weird. I was okay not knowing about this. But, we'll see where it goes. But, guys, I'm going to end it here. I got to get going. It is 6:39. I got some cleaning I got to do around the house. But I just want to say thank you for everybody showing up here. And just, all of us coming on here talking about the show. Talk about what we liked about the show, talk about what we didn't like about the show. I just really, really appreciate it. I think this is going to be a fun thing we do every week. Like I said, I want to do this every week, what day is it today? I think it's Wednesday. Every Wednesday. The times I'm going to try to like put a community post out before I do a live stream. And in general, just make sure you guys have your notifications turned on the channel, so that way if I do go live whenever I do throughout the day, you guys know I'm going live and you guys can come in and talk about the episode. I'm gonna try to do I will try to keep it early when I come on here. I'll try to keep it maybe around like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I'll try to keep it where it's not too late. I'll try to keep it like around that time. I don't want to go any later in the day where it's like we're doing it super late. I definitely want to do it pretty early, like around 5 or 6. This show is so peak, my God. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, bro. It's nice to see you, Superwise. I'm glad that you're in here. I was wondering where you were, but I'm glad that you're in here now, bro. But before we go, Superwise, I need your opinion on this one. I need your opinion. Because as of right now, I think me and Bethany and Jerry might be the only ones that think this is weird. But I need your opinion. What do you think about this? I need your opinion. Like, I'm trying to get a good. I keep zooming in on bro's face because he's a culprit. What do you think about this relationship? That they had a relationship and he's old enough to be her grandpa? What do you think? And he's trying to clearly spark things back up. Working on my review myself. Well, good. I can't wait to watch it, bro. But what do you think about this? I need to know. I cringed. I was like, I was hoping to God. I was like, please let this be her father or something, and we don't know. Even though he is the father of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, please let it be that he is her father, not they were dating. It's so weird. I know it happened in the comics, but I feel so uncomfortable. Thank you. I cringed so hard. I was like, please let this be her father. I was like, I did not want this to be ew. I was just like, ew. I wanted to leave the room. I was like, and Gambit, I said, Gambit has every right to throw a playing card in Bro's face for this. I was like, this is weird. Also, they thought they could pull a fast one because they put Bro in a muscle shirt and gave him gloves that would go up to his arms. They thought they could just be like, put him in a muscle shirt. People won't even focus on the fact that he's old enough to be your grandpa. They really thought they could pull a fast one. I was like, I was like, this is weird. I was like, this is cringeworthy. I did the most insane double take, laughing my ass off. It's so weird. Thank you, bro. It's so weird. But also, before I go, I want to say, look what I'm repping today. X-Men. Check the back. Peep the back. Look at that. Put the hoodie up. Put the hood up. Yeah. Check that out. Isn't that dope? Got my hoodie on. Like, let's go. But yeah, bro, like, it's weird. It's weird. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks it's weird. But I can't wait to see where this show goes. And yeah, hopefully I'll see everybody back here next Wednesday. Superwise, you weren't here for it, but I said I'm gonna make this a thing where I come on here every Wednesday to talk about an episode of X-Men 97. So that's what we're gonna be doing going forward for each episode. Starting next week, we're gonna be here for episode 3. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. Love the show so far. It definitely is peak. And yeah, this show definitely has rewatchability. That's all I'm saying. But Jerry, you said, good thing it's not X-Men Evolution version of Rogue. She was a schoolgirl in that one. It would be jailbait. Yeah, bro. It'd be crazy if they did that. Crazy. But yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to end it here. Hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday for episode 3. Peace.